What is up, YouTube? Jacob here for Tarant Tip Thursdays, and today's tip is going to be just a bunch of different transition things I use for my music. Not only electronic music, but hip-hop and just anything really. These elements are really good at just giving the listener a hint like, okay, we're breaking this section down and we're transitioning into the next section. So as you can see right here, I have an auto filter, reverb, and this is a redux. And then I also have some free chains that you could download off of Google, and you can find them. These are just kind of like a combination of these macroed to one knob, so it does different things. Less work, obviously, because you just spin one knob. But let me show you what we have. I just have a breakbeat drum. So obviously auto filtering, but you do put a little bit of resonance on there because it adds like this little sweep. So here's without it. And then when you put it on, so it just gives it more exciting, not so flat when it takes out the frequencies, because it's boosting a little bit right before it gets cut. So yeah, it just kind of really like dramatizes, if that's even a word. So now it's boosting this frequency range, and that's the next frequency range to get taken out. So it's like it really emphasizes the frequency, and then they get taken out, and then it just keeps on scanning through. So I feel like gives it a really good character just by turning the resonance up. So that's the auto filter. Let's turn that off. Now the reverb is definitely for the tails. So something like that, you could even do it way longer, do like 10 seconds. So you definitely have to play with that. That's a little dramatic, and maybe you want to put the reverb and auto filter, combine it, which is kind of like how these are set up. So let's keep on carrying on. Another cool one I do that I really don't hear much people use is redux. So like again, you could add this with the auto filter, and then that way, say the auto filter is doing this all the way down to like 500, and then you could turn this up. So it's like, and then if you want to get even more crazy, you could turn this on and then just really have fun with it. So maybe all the way to 100 up here. So stuff like that, you just gotta get creative with what you're combining and automating. Again, just be creative. Like there's really no right answer. These are just my go-tos. So now I'm going to show you guys the chains. I'm going to play what they are, or what they're doing, and then I will show you what's in the chain. So maybe you guys could start guessing what do you think's inside this change. So interesting, right? It's like delay, reverb, EQ, like you don't really know what it is. So let's look into it. I'm going to delete the automation, and I'm going to open up the chain. So we have the grain delay. That's where it's getting that character. Again, you see the resonance, it builds up as we go through. So let me go through and upgrade these and open it all up, and then I can show you what's happening. So the reverb, it's just the dry wet, so I could close this so you guys could see a little more. Let me see what else. Compressor. And the EQ is just, yeah, alright, let's just play it now. And, oh, I can turn this off, give me a little more space. Alright. And then the compressor, I think, because, yeah. And the reason for that is because as all that reverb and stuff's coming in with the grain delay, it's getting louder and louder. So they want to compress that in so it's not ripping your ears as you're going. So that's the washout. Again, that just Google bass clefs easy washout, and yeah, it's there, it's free. And same with this far away one, just say far away Ableton chain and it should be right there for you guys. But this one, it's like the opposite of the other one, just not with the delay and stuff. So this one's a little more predictable, just reverb and auto filters. So it's kind of like a combination we were talking earlier, but it already has it all mapped up, the timing, the dry wet, all this stuff. I mean, I know what it is, the work's done for me, so I will pop this chain in first before I start thinking, okay, I need to start getting, like it's just not set up to me. So I'll always check the one knob first before I break it down separate and start going detailed myself. That way I could really see if I'm wasting time or if I could just be smarter and drop this chain in and it will work. So it's a thing to remember. Make these chains, they're not always going to work, but they're quick to test, and I have a couple of them to test quickly. And if they don't work, and most of the time I could hear what I need to change or take out, so I just edit the chains. I'll start dragging things in, editing them, and still mapping them out to the one knob. So let's watch it as we break it down. So the reverb gets longer and more wet as the sound goes, but as that's happening, we're taking the highs away and we're taking the lows away. So this is like 1K, this is just above it, add 500. And that's what's making the sound really thin and stuff. So if you play it again for listening purposes, I'm just going to have it scan all the way through. And then I'll leave the tail on so you guys could hear. So very cool to use. It's good for just taking stuff away and really just like toning down the mood. I feel like when you use the washout, you could still tone down the mood, but I use the washout more like on build-ups and stuff, getting it ready to drop into the high energy. Whereas the far away, I try to end it and suck it away and get more calm and just, you know, lower down the vibes and stuff. But that's, you know, that's common transitions. Other than that, like writing wise, you could do drum fills. So say this is the normal thing, even though this is kind of like a fill breakbeats type of thing. But now, you know, everyone knows the loop, but by the time the end of the section is here, maybe you just go a little change. It lets them know, okay, it's resetting. We're either going away or it's going to repeat whatever you're doing in your track. Just a little hint like, oh, okay, we're at the end of the section. Same with chords. Like say you had chords playing right here and this was the 8-bar loop of the chords. Have either the root note just dragged out right here, and then you could like auto filter with the far away or whatnot, or put a bunch of reverb on there, or you could just drag out whatever the last note is and have it hanging over, or just super reverb on the last note, and then that way it, you know, transitions and drags out into the next section. It's not just stop and then it feels like the next loop's coming, you know. Those are the things that really tie the songs together, and these are my techniques and tips for you guys on transitions in your music. I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Videos every week. Click that like button if this has helped you in any ways, and comment what you want to learn or have questions about that you think we could cover in the future Tarant tips, because we're really want to give back to you guys. We made this channel because you have to learn, do, and teach to really master something, and this was our project of being able to teach you guys, and as well as really polish off our skills to make sure we have really memorized the stuff that we are teaching you guys. So I hope you guys like this. Again, comment anything you want to learn and you think we could do for the next Tarant tip, and we will try our best to give you guys some knowledge on that. As always, thanks for watching. Peace.